has an account? They got to, right?
Greer Beverages. They can set you up.
Lucian Greer himself manning that
I'm
account.
Lucian Greer. Looky here. If you're going to talk mess about my beverages, then just don't eat at that dim sum restaurant anymore.
Kind of want to
Oh,
fish.
but I like that dim sum restaurant.
Then go fuck yourself and get a Greer beverage.
Want to fish out a reply from RC Cola. Be like, man, nobody drinks enough at RC Cola these days. Thank you so much.
Where can I find? Hey, I'm in this area. Do you guys know a store where I can find an ice cold at RC Cola?
It's the only thing that'll quench my really thirsty, sandy throat right now.
Thirst.
Summer thirst.
Oh man,
Are you looking it up?
I am, and I'm afraid Royal Crown may not.
Or Crown Royale.
Well, yeah, Crown. If you want to talk to Crown, if you want to talk to Crown Royal,
I do.
I talk to Crown Royal all the time.
Goldschlager.
There's
There's
talks
two
to
of you
me.
bottles here.
At Jägermeister. Go fuck yourself.
I'm gonna start collecting marbles because these bags are so nice, Crown Royal.
or if you have,
keep on my 20-sided. I don't even have ever played D&D, but hey, this bag. I just want to. There's like some nuts and bolts or something. Keep it in this bag. This is a nice bag. I'm gonna keep it. Can I attach like a? Can I attach this pouch to like my belt?
keeping all my weed gear in this sweet at Crown Royal bag here on the 5th floor at the Hyatt Regency in Santa Clara.
I'm a cut person. I keep my smoke bombs in this Crown Royal bag.
Or if you want to talk to the Royal Crown Escorts Service, they're on Twitter.
What?
But
So, RC Cola or Crown Royal don't.
It looks
or
like
Royal
hepatitis
Crown.
from Crown Royal.
So you're saying I can register it right now? I better do it before this podcast
No, I'm
goes
sure
out.
it's taken. It just may not be a
Active.
corporate account.
oh wait, no, yeah, Royal Crown Cola is totally on Twitter.
Great.
So there you go.
Ringing endorsement.
Sure could go for some Faygo.
I'm not gonna look up Faygo. Fuck you for that.
Anyway, what were we talking about? California Extreme.
California Extreme. I played some Baby Pac-Man, and it's half video game, half pinball. It's
game's amazing. And then they get free travel points. It's a great idea.
fuck coins. Fuck them.
I don't like
Paper money.
coins.
Fuck them. Get rid of them. I got in a crazy argument with someone not a couple weeks ago about pennies. About fuck pennies. He's all, no, you need pennies. I'm like no.
What do you need pennies for?
Fuck you need pennies for?
You know, if we don't have pennies, then you're just giving all those merchants a free pass to
No,
extra money.
It's just the makes the smallest denomination slightly bigger, but not in a way that is significant in any way.
But then at that point, you're like, let's get rid of nickels too.
Okay, yeah, keep talking.
If you keep getting rid of the one, don't you just make the next thing the one?
No, it's not like they don't always. There's not or it's not in regular circulation, I don't believe, but like a 1 peso coin, like that's not worth anything. Like their actual functional money doesn't go that small, and there's no reason for it to.
You're saying the inflation has killed the penny?
Yeah, and also pennies cost more than they're worth to make, so that's like the number one thing of fuck pennies.
So shouldn't you invest in pennies?
Pennies are no, because pennies are like no. You should do is get pennies and then salvage them.
Right, melt them down, make a
although
giant penny.
even that's hard because it's coated and all this shit.
Giant
but
copper ball.
It's like 1.3 cents to make a penny.
So it's worth more. Your penny is worth more than...
It's worth more than its face value, but you can't get more than a penny's worth out of a penny because it's a penny.
Not right now.
Fuck pennies.
After the apocalypse, pennies will be worth $1.
They're like cockroaches. Pennies will still be around.
Yes, a penny is worth a cockroach right now.
Is there copper in a penny still?
Yeah, there's a little coating of copper in there.
Mostly zinc or something?
Yeah, it's mostly zinc. Rip the copper out of a fridge before I melt down my pennies.
I mean, the form of the currency doesn't really have any bearing.
Whenever people talk about getting rid of pennies, I just think that they should go live in some militia bunker somewhere. For some reason, that's all connected.
You can see why.
It's just like, we're going to get rid of the penny, and then we got all this canned food to survive for the next 40 years.
Just want a pouch of gold and weigh it when you go buy something. I miss pennies.
I would miss sometimes giving people 4 cents more than they deserve. Fuck them. Why do they get it? I should get it. If it was 50, if there was a coin flip in every transaction that said who got the nickel, like where the rounding went, Whether I came out on top or they did, then maybe. But
It's a game every time.
if they win every time, fuck them.
What are you currently?
gonna put 'em-
What are you currently doing at those 4 sets?
I put them in my the Roy Rogers charity thing that I stole from a movie theater. And then from there, when that fills up, I dump it into this thing that a bunch of peanut butter pretzels were in that I bought at the Costco. And when that gets so full that I don't feel like carrying it around, I take it to the Coinstar and turn it into Amazon stuff.
See, that's you know what, Coinstar is the perfect reason of why fuck pennies is we need to put Coinstar out of goddamn business.
But if you get Amazon credit, they don't take a fee.
Right. So
So-
you could just, if you didn't have pennies, you could just buy shit on Amazon.
Well, no, because his argument is that they would take that 4 cents, and instead he takes the 4 cents
Then I'll
and
end up with
turns
a
it
bunch
into
of nickels,
Amazon.
and then I'll still do it. So at some point, every time I do that, the pennies only total up to like $2 or $3.
Yeah.
But fuck them. That'd be $2 or $3 I would give to every merchant ever. Fuck merchants. That money is mine. I want my money.
I am proposing that for most people, that the time spent trying to get the value out of the penny is worth more than the penny.
But I'm already getting value out of all the other coins. Like if it was literally just like, here's where I keep my pennies, then yeah, I'd be a crazy person that they do television shows about. But because I'm already doing all that other change.
How much faster your transactions would go if pennies didn't have to be involved. Of the like, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, like not that much faster. It's like over time, nationwide, all transactions, no pennies, everything would move faster.
Why even paying with cash? Who even does
I
that
agree.
anymore?
I mean, yeah. Well, yeah.
I'm looking for a
Let's
penny, I don't
let's
know.
keep going. Yes,
Yeah. Let's just take it to its logical conclusion.
with you. Let's
get
keep
rid
going
of all,
down that.
Get rid of all cash.
Just have to start with the penny. And
We can't get rid of all cash though until someone comes up with a purely bitcoins. There you go. If you want bitcoins to take over as the anonymous currency of record, then fine.
I'm in.
But cash works pretty well for when you're buying things you don't want no one to know about.
it's. I find it interesting.
This thing hooks up to your cable box. I don't know what it does. What does it do? Who fucking knows? I don't know. Here's $200 in cash. You give me this box, I'll figure out what it does. You take this $200 and do whatever. Oh, whoops, Playboy Channel comes in. That's got to be a mistake. I guess I'll just leave it hooked up though, but I just won't watch it very much.
I think it's interesting how strongly people react to the idea of no pennies. Like it's this weird just.
Why do you want to
gut
take
of like no?
Yeah.
Why do you want to take no? I want my pennies. Why? Because pennies. I want pennies.
If you could get rid of pennies in such a way that I still got my fucking money, then fine. Like I'm not attached to the penny. I'm attached to quarters.
But here's the thing: if it happens through the entire economy, it's in everyone's interest for it to be a balanced system, and for if costs go up that much for everything, then everyone's fucked. Like you're assuming that only the consumer is the person using this currency, but everyone would have to use
But then
the
you can
currency.
never make something $4.99 again, so retailers would never want to get, because then everything would have to be $5 or $4.95.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, $4.99.
They could
That's
still call it $4.99.
just
I mean,
know, know that you're going to be paying. I think the mental in here and the old cranium
$4.95
cap-
works for me.
Yeah, $4.95.
Who cares?
1995. You see that plenty.
Yeah.
What if you got a government money card? This is already a bad idea. And anytime there were pennies, they got put onto that card
Then what do you do
because
with
the money still exists in a intellectual sense.
I mean, that's the.
And if you're paying with a credit card, then whatever. It's just as before.
It's all fantasy anyway.
gold standard?
It's all made up. It only works if you believe in it real hard anyway.
This conversation is brought to you by Ron Paul.
That's right.
2012.
I'm going to go cash in my pennies for gold and see where that gets me.
Yeah, there you go.
I want
pennies for gold.
Penniesforgold.com. You go there. It's just.
Send us your pennies.
I had no idea my pennies were worth so much money.
Turns out 100 pennies is worth $1
Someone look up that site.
in gold. $1 in gold, it turns out, is not very much. Unfortunately. Jeff, you play anything for realsies then? Without Skyrim.
I want to talk about it. I'm all pissed off.
I feel like you're ready to start a fight club.
Got your blood up about pennies. Pennies are dumb.
It's like next
Pennies
year.
are dumb,
Yeah.
but they're all we got, man.
See, but
I want solutions.
The only argument that I hear against them is just GERD. No, I want pennies.
No, that's. I think I come from a very realistic perspective on this. Is that I want my fucking money.
Yeah.
If that money's mine, I'm not going to just let them take it. That's 4 cents transaction. Potentially, I'd be losing. Theoretically, up to 4. As many as 4
But
cents.
you're still thinking in a world where pennies exist. If all transactions no longer have pennies in them,
then they just round it. And
then it's just rounding. And everything is rounded.
Then
for everyone.
That's a slippery slope. That then all of a sudden everything is 10 cents rounded to tens. Then it's rounded to quarters.
Yeah.
Then it's rounded to dollars. Then it's like, is the dollar worth anything? No. Then all of a sudden, that leads to a $1 trillion bill being out in circulation, and no one wants that.
I mean, what do you do when what do you do when there are taxation and interest rates?
That's the thing is the premise that the currency itself would lead to inflation is the thing that I can't buy. That's the part where it loses for me. Is because we barely deal with like bills or coins anyway.
I think even the concept of numbers, you can't just eliminate 1 through 4 in every single transaction that happens around the world.
Well, I mean,
so
as soon as you've got an interest or a tax rate,
exactly.
a fraction of a percent.
When you pay for gas, they are charging you fractions of cents and rounding anyway. That's happening. And so, yes, that stuff could go on forever.
That's why I siphon all my gas out of my neighbor's gas tank.
So you just lop it off at the point where it's no longer relevant. Brad, how's your bunker? How's your bug out bag?
I got my MREs and my crank powered radio, so
you've got your
Confederate
money.
I'm getting there.
It's the only stuff that's going to be any good.
Bottle caps.
Got
a jar of bottle caps in the closet.
Bullets.
So I played some Trackmania, and watching people who had no concept of what the internet was or how it actually worked,
or even kind of mocking the fact that they don't know what they're talking
well, look,
about.
I'm just a simple man here. I don't understand your internet, but I know stealing's wrong. Like, okay,
remember Napster?
Yeah,
Napster
like it was
was
just people with no interest in getting informed, and whatever. They're of an age that they might not be capable of getting informed at this point.
But yeah, it could be frustrating to see that of like the fate of the future of this technology being in the hands of people.
Look at these dumb fucking old white men that don't understand how the world works anymore, but yet are still clinging onto it like it's theirs. They were out of the picture.
Like pennies.
What am I saying?
Clinging onto it like pennies.
No, pennies are fun. God damn it.
Just crazy old white man don't understand anymore.
I love my pennies.
Thank you very much. Good night, everybody. Been a great crowd.
Jeff, does Giant Bomb support SOPA or PIPA? PIPA?
PIPA sounds, I don't know. We don't understand PIPO. He understood.
We're typically up with PIPA around here.
Yeah.
Right?
What about FIFO?
We do not support FIFA.
No, FIFO, first in, first out.
We're more of a first in, last out.
Yeah, that makes
kind
more
of
sense.
thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're the engine and the caboose.
Word. Yeah, no, we don't.
We're not.
We're not political by nature, but it's. I think we can all agree that shit is stupid.
Yeah.
Well, I think the only downside. Well, one of the downsides of taking your site dark for this period.
Yeah.
Like I said, Brad, let's talk to you.
Yeah.
Oh man, what?
Did you shred it?
That's right. What did you shred this weekend? How shredding did it get?
How gnar was it out there?
Did you completely shred the gnar? Partial gnar?
Not very.
Par gnar?
I didn't. I don't think I left the house all weekend.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's good.
Hang on. What do you think? Let me take stock of my. Oh no, let's not take stock of my life.
Here, right now.
That could be bad.
This is the intervention podcast.
But let me think back.
What Brad doesn't know. This.
Got to have.
Well, that's why he skipped Drew and went straight to me. I see where this is going.
Yep. Now Drew's got something way worse in store.
We think Joan is killing you. It's breaking up your marriage and your life.
Well, I did have to go to the Walgreens for about 10 minutes on Saturday. Does that count?
Yeah. That's leaving the house.
Did you have to put shoes on?
No, perfect.
No, I didn't. I wore flip-flops because it's right down the street. They're nice flip-flops.
There's no such thing.
It's not that far.
If they were slippers, maybe.
I had to go pick up.
I know where that Walgreens is.
I had to
You're
go
crossing a major road.
I had to go pick what, Gary?
Yeah.
Whatever. I had to go pick up one thing.
More flip-flops.
Anyway, I should have worn shoes. I should have worn shoes because
you're going outside.
This is
Because
too.
you kicked a rusty nail.
This
Like
is for-
salsa? What were you getting?
That was a prescription.
Okay. Prescription salsa.
I don't know if
For socks.
it's kind of weird to talk about, but I injured my foot in the course of that.
Oh, man.
somehow.
Yeah, because you weren't wearing
right. Yeah,
fucking
don't wear
footwear.
No,
fucking
it wasn't.
proper
It wasn't.
shoes.
It wasn't like I stepped on something.
Did you
or
turn an
whatever.
ankle?
Last week you talked a little about flip-flops, and this week we're going to talk a little more about flip-flop. This comes from Jordan. He says, I spend most of my time in some brown all-leather flip-flops, and I would never wear them to the office, but I have always thought they were acceptable for any situation that did not require a blazer. That is a wide range.
To like a fancy restaurant.
So like you're wearing a tuxedo.
You're not wearing a blazer. He says, what I am implying from this is flip-flops are a go. After listening to last week's Bombcast, I have one very important question. Is it really true that there's no such thing as nice flip-flops?
So here's the thing. This
Will
crowd,
know this.
I
Yeah.
am a flip-flop aficionado.
Yeah,
you
well,
are.
I have been
footwear
wearing
aficionado.
flip-flops for many years.
In fact, I thought you were like a hippie early when I met you.
You-
Because I was like, you were wearing them all the time.
This
I
was
like,
the
what?
most flip-flop unfriendly office I've ever worked in. Yeah, I thought you guys, everybody has beards. You're all internet fuckers.
Yeah.
I thought it was just like live and let live, man.
Yeah.
Laissez-faire.
No.
But no.
No shoes, no
Eventually,
socks,
Jeff
no
pulled me
service.
aside and was like, hey, we got to talk about the flops. Like, I don't know
Who do
where
you think
you're
you are,
from.
Sean Koontz?
What
Yeah.
is, yeah, Koontz can wear. Why
He
why did
doesn't wear.
Koontz-
He didn't wear flip flops.
He left his flops in our office when he quit our at
That's
Berman
because he
Braun.
didn't need
That's
them
because you
anymore.
didn't wear them. You just walked out barefoot. And like,
Footloose and fancy free.
He left
Yeah.
the Advantage Koontz shoes in there too.
Those are amazing.
Those was the
Don't ever
best-
talk bad about
Best
those.
pair of bad tennis.
so
shoes
what are
I've
you
ever
saying
seen.
here? Will, as the kind of defender of the flop, what are you gonna answer? Is there no nice flip flop
I have a pair of nice flip flops.
that you would wear?
So
Do you have dress flops?
I've been to parts of the equatorial regions that are like nice resorts where you go and basically you're wearing flops the whole time.
Are you wearing sandals or are you wearing flip flops?
Horse?
Equatorial.
Or equator?
Equine is horse, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, near the
I
equator.
don't know. You,
Tropical regions.
I wouldn't be surprised with either with you.
It's both. You don't wear flip flops around horses because you will lose toes that way.
All right.
Because they step
Really?
on you when you're not wearing real shoes. Your feet
What
will
if you're
be
wearing?
fucked up
What
forever.
if you're wearing real shoes?
Don't wear sneakers around horses either
Why?
because they step on you and they weigh thousands of
What
pounds.
do I wear?
Fuck you up.
What should I wear?
Boots are what you wear around horses.
Boots? Cowboy boots.
No, well, I mean, if you're a fucking cowboy, yeah, of course.
I am not
But you
fucking
should just wear.
cowboys, but
There are things called paddock boots. There are work boots. Any of those will be sufficient for wearing around horses. If you are at a resort,
Yes.
it is acceptable to wear a pair of nice leather flip flops to dinner.
What about plastic ones?
Plastic flip flops also okay. Somebody's gonna look down their nose at you, but they're probably an asshole. So it's fine. Fuck them. Don't wear leather. I got to come down
I
on
think-
the no flip flops.
I'm gonna say
side.
leather flip flops are called sandals.
Nope. Sandals have a thing in the back that holds the heel on, so you don't make the traditional flip flop
and/or
noise.
Oh, you're right. If you're wearing those, no, you're out of my restaurant.
If you can walk silently in the shoe
Yeah.
without having to modify your stride in a noticeable way, it's probably okay. Otherwise, say no to the flop.
Don't shake your face.
Max writes in and says, being a proud Australian, this has to come from last week. I don't know.
He's probably rich.
Exactly. Max in Australia typed on his gold-plated keyboard, had his koala butler write in, mouthful of eucalyptus leaves.
Just eating copies of video games because
That's
you
yeah,
can.
that's where the power comes from. Being a proud Australian, I was confused by your line of questioning about when and where it's appropriate to wear flip-flops. Or as they're known down under, thongs.
Okay.
So I grew up calling them thongs, and then at some point they changed to flip-flops. At
Yeah,
some
I
point,
remember that
the wide term for thongs became flip-flops.
See, a thong for us was always
Or-
something you wear on your body.
Yeah,
Wear
I mean that's
thong.
what a thong is now here. Yes,
I've heard it
definitely.
sung about.
Thanks,
as a-
Cisco.
yeah.
But even pre-thong song, the flip-flop change happened.
Okay.
Cisco did not cause that.
He just rode the wave.
By the time it hits spring, September, I am pretty much exclusively in thongs at all times. This is a lot funnier to read this way. Most establishments will let you in if you're wearing them, and they wouldn't be out of place in most modern or casual workplaces. I wear them with jeans and have even wore them on dates before, and no eyebrows were raised. Just thought I'd let you guys know that if you're ever in Oz,
Yeah.
like the prison show,
Australia, prison colony where they're all paid $1 billion. Please don't hesitate to
can't
rock the
afford
flip-flops with
shoes.
impunity. Cannot afford shoes.
What's going on down?
They're spending it all on video games down under.
Huh.
Koala bears.
Man, Australia sounds so chill.
It sounds pretty great.
It sounds hot.
Except for like
Except for all the
everything
stuff
that's trying to kill you. Yeah.
Everything.
That's- yeah.
Yeah, you're wearing open-toed shoes with like scorpions on your
Right.
feet
That-
constantly.
Okay, yeah.
And black widow spiders and
Nope, I'm out. Not in town with that.
Ugh.
Max from Australia writes in and says, last week some guy named Max from Australia wrote in saying how it was okay to wear thongs with jeans and at work and a bunch of other crap.
Yeah.
As another person named Max, also in Australia, do not listen to this crazy person. He is crazy.
Thong beef.
Really hope it's
Yeah.
the same guy.
Yeah, thong beef.
Just freaking out.
Right. So, wait, what did I do?
Oh, that's not right.
I made the wrong impression. Max in Australia writes in, this is the original Max, not the second Max. This is first Max.
Regarding thongs.
The other Max sounds like a dork. He's probably from lame-ass Melbourne. I'm from the far superior Sydney. Everyone wears thongs here in summer, and most people that do so are stylish and attractive. All right.
Oh, man. Australian beef.
That's right. There you have it. So,
Isn't that just like kangaroo?
I don't know. I've never been there.
one of them koala bears.
That's not beef.
All right. Max in Australia writes in and says, look, motherfucker, I'm a dork, says the guy wearing thongs with jeans and at work, and you're from Sydney, the LA of Australia? Uh-huh.
She's getting real in there.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening. I don't know what the fuck's
It's a real beef happening.
fuck is in the water in Australia.
Australian beef.
Yeah.
Sydney. Okay, so what we got? We got Sydney beef and
Melbourne.
Melbourne beef?
Yeah.
Okay.
Melbourne. Melbourne. I don't know.
Sure.
Melbourne identity.
Dude, if this keeps up, that all emails podcast we used to talk about might become a reality.
Right.
This is gold.
Your insider scoops happening
Yeah,
here.
exactly. Intense scoops. All right, James from Australia writes in and says, James from Australia here, given the surprising number of mentions of Australia over the last few podcasts, I thought it would be very un-Australian to let the inaccuracies of my supposed countrymen to stand. Thongs are acceptable to wear in almost any circumstance, but never with long pants.
Okay.
First Max was probably lying about having a job and wears his thongs and jeans while on a Sydney street corner playing some Swedish steel drum thing. And then he provided some fun facts about Australia, which I figure, if we're really going to go down this road, we need to know more about that. We need to get the lay of the land.
Sure. It's only fair.
All the deadly animals you hear about live in Sydney and never come to Melbourne.
Okay.
The set for Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome was unavailable for the music video of California Love, so they just filmed Tupac and Dr. Dre performing on the streets of Sydney.
Okay.
Melbourne was going to be the capital of Australia until Sydney whined about it, and we had to build the shithole that is our nation's capital, Canberra. There's apparently another city in Australia.
Okay.
It's Canberra place. And that's it. Thank you, James. The Australian thong debate is raging.
It's hot.
It is extremely hot.
We should go to Australia.
We probably should go to Australia.
First-hand account. Forget
Yeah.
the kilts. We need to know what's going on.
PAX Australia is like Halloween this year.
Yeah.
Whoa, weird.
Yeah, weird time. Matthew writes in and says, I know it's been a few weeks since you talked about it, but I wanted to contribute to the flip-flop discussion.
Oh, man.
Jeez.
I work in a molecular biology laboratory at UC Berkeley and use some fairly hazardous materials, radioactive isotopes, mutant viruses, concentrated acids, etc. Despite this, people still wear flip-flops in the lab.
Gross.
As you can imagine, this has led to several chemical burns and general injuries over the years. We're supposed to wear long pants and closed-toed shoes all the time, but people insist on wearing whatever. I think this is a testament to people's love of their flip-flops, no matter the hazard. I'm originally from Philadelphia, so I find all this very strange. Flip-flops are for the beach, and that's it. Keep up the great work. It helps the hours of experiments go by. I especially enjoy the science sections. You guys get close enough. I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Not the flip-flops, though.
No.
He's right. Scientists agree.
That's right.
No flip-flops,
No flip-flops.
in the workplace.
Well, regarding the risky flip-flop wearing, it is Berkeley.
Yeah, totally.
So.
I'm surprised that they're wearing clothes at all. Cal from Melbourne writes in and says, I realize you probably don't want to turn the podcast into a personal message service for feuding Australians. That's where you're wrong.
Right. Never assume.
But this is a quick fashion note for Max from Sydney. If you're wearing thongs everywhere, you're probably some sort of clueless Westie who thinks he's cool but is oblivious to just how classless he is. Thongs have a time and place. And you mentioned Sydney people being stylish and attractive. Way to live up to the shallow Sydney stereotype, man. That is all.
Man. Bunch of criminals.
Yeah, you can tell that they're all descended from the prison colony because they are at each other's throats all the time.
Man.
The real danger, the real murderous beasts are the Australians, I think.
They're only in Sydney, though.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Or this Canberra. This throws the whole thing off. I don't even know what to think anymore.
Watch your toes, man.
Mauricio in Florida says, hello, my name is Mauricio and I'm from Florida. And I've got a hypothetical scenario that hurts my brain to think about. I'll try to explain it as simply and quickly as possible. First, the facts. A TV screen is composed of pixels. Each pixel can display a combination of red, green, or blue. For the hell of it, we'll use a 1080p TV for this scenario. That is 1920 by 1080 pixels, or 2,073,600 pixels.
Okay.
Check. You got it?
Got it. I'll trust your math on that.
Every single image that is displayed or will ever be displayed on that TV is just a combination of those 2 million pixels in different RGB combinations. There is a finite, although incomprehensibly large amount of combinations, and that should be number of combinations, I think, these pixels could be in. The point being, it is finite. So, if a TV could hypothetically cycle through every single possible combination of those 2 million pixels and combination of RGB within those pixels, would you then not hypothetically see every single possible thing that exists or could exist on that TV screen?
Yes.
You would see past, present, and future, alien worlds, an image of Hitler wearing a clown nose, the same image of Hitler wearing a clown nose from every single possible angle. The numbers get insanely large. It could take billions of years for this TV to cycle through every possible combination, possibly longer than the life of the universe. But it would eventually show everything, right?
I guess.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or you're kind of
My math checks out.
well, you're kind of setting this up not to fail, right? If you're saying it's ultimately going
Let's start doing this.
We have a bunch of TVs
We
here.
got so many TVs.
We could have multiple TVs going at once.
Let's just lower the resolution. We'll go faster.
Oh, that's a good call.
Take half the
320
time.
by 240. Kapow.
I'll see the universe in SD.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I don't know. Maybe enhanced SD.
Why don't we look at it in SD, and then when we see things we like, we can flag those and go like, we would like to see this in a higher resolution, thank you. And then use that to inform the algorithm that does it in 1080p.
Man.
And then move that up to 4K.
How is somebody just not doing this already?
I know.
Somebody probably is. This is how people predict the stock market, right?
Yeah, they all turn their TVs on to different channels, and then
Just go random.
yeah.
And it's like, I think that looked like Apple stock. That guy looked really happy. I'd love it.
But we don't know if it took place in the past or the future. He just had a big goofy mustache, so there's no way of knowing.
You think could you get charged with bootlegging movies if you bootleg the movie before the movie's even concepted or created?
Then they're bootlegging you.
Future
Right.
crime.
If I just have all the
Precogs.
if I have all the frames from everything, and I'm like,
And then post them to Twitter, and then you'll get shut down.
but I had it before you even thought of this movie.
Take that TV, write your name on it, drop it in the mailbox,
Send it to myself.
mail it to yourself.
That's how copyright works.
Yeah. Apparently, some people have sent some emails in to bombcast@giantbomb.com.
email.
Bombcast@giantbomb.com is the email address, and you can send in your emails to that address, and we will scour through them, remove the ones that are about Australia and are not awesome,
Okay.
like most of them that came in this week.
Boom. You're just adding to the beef. There's a little spice for that pot.
I know, yeah. Australia, trying too hard, as it turns out.
I've known that for years.
Dude, don't antagonize them. They all have shivs.
They're not coming here.
Yes,
The flight is like 20 hours.
They're just going to row that whole island over here and just fucking show up on the shore.
They're like going to stand on a boomerang and throw it and hope for the best. Now, what's going to happen is that Dan Teasdale is a sleeper agent. He's going to be in town for GDC. He's going to say, look at this spinning limousine, and then just like break everybody's necks.
He's drilling a hole through the earth right down to Australia so they just jump in it and pop up over here.
Yeah. They're both digging from opposite ends. That's why I moved to Seattle. It's like the exact opposite. If you look on a map, I know it doesn't look like it. You look at a globe.
Right. But you can fold a flat map in half to make them line up.
Yeah.
I've done it.
Yeah, exactly.
Mad Lib, but with
it's
more
like a wormhole. That's how we're going to teleport through space. Also, we're going to fold the map and just go boop, boop, point A, point B.
Yep.
Some people
Wormholes.
don't believe it.
No,
Science.
I know. I'm a scientist.
So you watch Cosmos this weekend, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, definitely.
I did. It was pretty good.
Time is a flat thing.
Yes.
Yep.
Nico writes in and says, first of all, you have it wrong.
Okay.
I'm from New Zealand. And the correct term for these so-called flip-flops is jandals.
Nope.
Those Aussies who have been writing in have it
You mean the
especially
governor of
wrong
Louisiana?
by calling them thongs. All this brings to mind are G-strings, but that's not surprising, as Australians are usually wrong anyway.
Wow.
Man.
Now that's just
Oceania beef.
yeah. So New Zealand and Australia at each other's throats, which, as I understand it, is pretty common.
Yeah, you're gonna get a Tasmanian in here next week, just freaking the fuck out.
Right.
Jandals,
What the fuck are you doing? Jandals?
No, that's not right.
What is that's not real?
Is that a typo?
Someone made that up. I don't know.
Okay.
Like mandals, I get. It's stupid,
Yeah.
but I get why someone would say it. There's a logic to that. Jandals?
What's the J?
Jammin' sandals.
Wow.
Yep.
What do I wear if I'm tired?
Jandals.
Slandals.
Pajandals,
Sleep sandals.
perhaps?
Yeah, pajandals.
Slippers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got nothing.
Okay. Eric writes in, and he is a computer scientist at USC.
Sounds good.
Just a quick response to Mauricio from Florida and his thought experiment of watching all the images a TV
Yes.
could produce.
Yes.
Great.
He is correct.
I knew it. Let's get to work.
If you enumerate all possible combinations, the TV will display every image possible for a 1080p TV. But, unfortunately,
What?
it would take the life of the universe infinite times over to do so.
But that's if you're at 10, it was knock the resolution down.
Let us assume a 1 gigahertz TV, i.e., a TV that refreshes every nanosecond much faster than our current 120 hertz TVs.
Okay, we'll get there.
Given approximately 2 million pixels, each with 3 possible assignments, RGB,
I'll do it in black and white.
it would take 3 to the 2 millionth power nanoseconds to display all possible combinations.
That's really fast, right?
Just for clarity, 3 to 250 nanoseconds is approximately 10 to the 101st power years.
What? Okay, that's a lot of
It's a
years.
lot.
Yeah.
It's like 11 years.
I don't get a calculator,
You
but it
could've
just
typed
said
that one out.
E.
Okay.
Yeah.
The current estimate for the heat death of the universe is approximately 10 to the 100th power years. Thus,
Oh, we're so close.
you'd have barely scratched the surface of the possible images when the Earth universe died.
Well,
so
let's get
don't go
started.
starting a business.
What?
So don't go starting a business to enumerate all these images.
We're going 320 by 240, black and white.
Mm-hmm.
It'll take like a quarter of the time.
Yep. P.S. Don't try to parallelize this.
Why not?
Even if you made each pixel out of an atom and used all the atoms in the universe to generate the images,
That's exactly where I was going.
it would still take an insurmountable amount of time.
That's what they say. They always say that.
You're
Yeah.
a dreamer, Vinny.
Yeah, they're like, radio, that'll
It'll
take
never
an
work.
insurmountable. If you want to use atoms and microwaves,
How can we
I
beam?
don't think they ever said that.
you want to make a burrito hot in 15 seconds? That's impossible.
I don't know. Like, could you make some kind of super fire?
Yeah,
I mean,
what?
what the fuck is that?
That's crazy.
It'll burn first.
I don't think that's what they said.
Kill us all.
But that'll get every image, right? I only want one.
Well, it's random though.
Which
so-
one?
The one of the dude in the car.
Okay, all right.
Have to know how it works.
That is the heat death of the universe. That
And
is-
like your odds are better than one in because there would be a lot of images of the dude in the car.
Yeah.
Except I'm confused about his methodology though.
There'd
Because
be every dude, including you, with every car.
yeah, you'd
True.
see
true,
everything
in every position.
in every position.
Yeah.
I don't understand how he's
Anthropomorphized cars, even for real sexy fan art.
cars
Text Javanya.
cars having sex with dragons.
Yes,
The cars.
we've got the Cars sequel you've been waiting
Have you seen
for.
what you can do in Disney Infinity? It's crazy.
I don't
Cars, a triple X parody.
I don't get the part where he says each pixel can only have 3 assignments though.
Well, I think he was doing RGB, right?
Yeah,
Right, but
3 possible assignments.
wouldn't it be way more than that? Because
Are you talking pixel blending?
Yeah, like Pixel uses a combination of those three to achieve an actual color, right?
Well, he's saying that each pixel blends with the in a pixel radius.
There's 3 possible assignments. He doesn't say that the assignments are. There's 3 assignables.
Okay. Not the pixel can only be in one of 3 states.
He's saying it'll work. He is saying the first sentence in there says yes.
Yes,
you're
it
right,
will work.
right? Okay,
All right, so we just need a faster fucking TV, and then we need 2 of them.
And a low resolution.
Done.
Yeah. I don't care. I watched
480p. It's not a real resolution. We'll do it anyway.
I feel like I was experimenting with this when I had a cable box at home trying to get porn.
But then you need
you push 3 and 7 at the same time, and you see everything in the universe.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a nipple.
No, it's you push the 4 buttons at the same. You turn it to channel 2. You push all 4 buttons at the same time.
Yeah.
The box turns off. Then you push channel down, and it switches to the movie channel, and you can get it.
See, we were figuring this shit out years ago.
Totally.
Don't tell me.
We're ahead of the
science.
game.
Then
Like,
you also need a way to not only randomize all the values, but also build a database of all the previously displayed images, so
Like,
you're not
fucking mechanical
repeating
Turk
anything.
looks through that shit, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Just be like, hey, find it.
And then that database would get bigger and bigger, and then you'd have to hit against it, and it'd take longer and longer.
The question is how much storage would you need to store every image of the universe?
We're fucked.
Send it back to
No,
that guy.
you would just use math. You would say like, okay, this TV is going to do the first ones that are in this order, and then we're going to go to here.
What do you
There's an
do with your
equation.
cell processor, your PS3?
True.
Exactly. We'll bolt
there's
all
like-
these PS3s together.
There's like 18 of them in my house.
We'll launch some fucking missiles.
Guys,
I haven't had the toaster and the washing machine. Haven't
I
been
could use
plugged
another
in for a
fridge.
while, so.
I've started this project and I've seen it.
I'm pretty sure Jack Tretton's next step has been figured out during this podcast.
I just want to see that guy fucking that car.
He heard last week's podcast and he's like, I gotta go. I gotta get out of here.
I gotta go. My trick calling. It just called me.
Oh, it's
whole thing.
amazing. I love this concept.
Wait, what if he's a mechaphile?
No,
I don't want to think about that.
This guy in the article estimated there are about 500 other dudes in the world with the same.
How would you estimate?
I know.
I'm sorry. 500 what?
Guys, like
Okay,
500 other
Okay,
people doing what he's doing.
For a second, I thought you said 500 million. I was gonna say, come on.
No.
Some hot cars out there, but let's just the one time.
Forza's a gateway drug.
Yep. Sam in Brisbane writes in. Sam from Brisbane, Queensland here. I don't know what Queensland is.
Is it Brisbane?
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 Brisbane.
I don't know.
Melbourne.
Where the IGN offices used to be.
Sydney.
By the airport. After hearing all my fellow Australians categorically get it wrong in the process out themselves as un-Australian, I need to close the topic out before we go to war with each other, because Queensland will win, and don't think that we won't. Flip-flops, thongs are what we could easily consider our most Australian icon of footwear. Therefore, it is un-Australian to deny an Aussie right to wear their national pride. The only exceptions I would consider is when wearing them poses physical risk to the wearer. I think you're a soft Melbourneite, but hey, you want to follow what is deemed safe, then go ahead.
Have any of them responded and not just been total fucking assholes to the person who came
No, they've
before them?
all been real monsters, and this one is like has got some English issues with it in some spots as well.
Sure.
I saw a description of these cities that might help contextualize.
Yeah?
That Sydney is kind of Los Angeles.
Okay.
And Melbourne is sort of Portland-ish. Except more urban.
Okay. All right. David in Brisbane writes in.
Thanks for checking in, Dustin.
Does it start with "you're all fucking wrong"?
Over the past few weeks, I've heard these Australian-themed emails come flowing in and was compelled to write in and set the record straight from a Brisbane perspective. I will be brief. Brisbane, Queensland is the butt of many jokes in Australia because of its rich history of rednecks, racism, and rowdiness. We have 1950s-style censorship, rampant alcohol-related violence, and high-profile residents who seem actually deranged. Remember that billionaire who wants to build a new Titanic and/or a dinosaur theme park? He's one of ours, and he's a politician now. Save for a few decent people, maybe say 9, it is generally an unpleasant place. After living here my whole life, I am leaving soon for fear of it turning into a terrifying Fallout-style wasteland filled with crazy people. With all that in mind, Max from Sydney is crazier than any Queenslander for suggesting Australians wear thongs pretty much everywhere. They are exclusively for the beach, walking to the corner shop, or putting the bins out. But I guess this makes sense since Melbourne is as lovely as a summer breeze and Sydney is a dumb hole.
Wow.
We're really not getting anywhere.
I like that there are a lot of other areas weighing in on this now.
Man, I love the description of a city as a dumb hole.
Dumb hole.
It's fantastic.
Gross. Tom is a research chemist. Says, please disregard anything the biologist said relating to flip-flops when he wrote in, biologists aren't real scientists.
Oh, man. Now they got science beef.
Chemists do all the real work.
Oh, God. Why are you sparing beeves on this show?
I'm just trying to start shit. The world got too peaceful.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Beevcast.
All right. Andrew's from Perth.
Oh, God.
Also, Max and James from Australia are both partially correct. Thongs are able to be worn in almost any non-professional environment. As a young uni lad, a nice pair of $19.99 Havanas with jeans was the rage at pubs. Sometimes, however, due to the weather, they are just a necessity. It hit 49 Celsius last month. That's 120 Fahrenheit. Hot as balls. If James from Melbourne thinks the animals from Sydney are deadly, he should visit Western Australia or Queensland. As an impartial observer, however, Sydney is a clear win over Melbourne. And he's in Perth, so he's like a, innocent bystander in all this, just weighing in.
He's trying to settle it, man. He's just trying to, sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong.
At the very end, there's a swoop and poop of him just being like, but the city's way better, I gotta go.
Peace out! It's like stirring it up and going, fuck this! Paul is from China.
Melbourne stuff.
They don't even let us wear thongs here. They put corn and shrimp on pizza here, and it's weird.
Yes, verifiable.
Yeah, that sounds terrible. It's terrible.
Also, Brisbane sucks.
Yeah, oh, by the way, Brisbane's
a bunch of fucking animals.
Yeah. Well, with that, why don't we get into emails? Bombcast@giantbomb.com is the email address. Emails have gone dark.
A little scared.
It has been a rough month in the world of email to this podcast.
Yeah.
There's 100 more there was 300 more emails that are like these. This is just a sampling of the topics, and it's all fucking bad.
In a normal week, how many emails do you get for the cast?
Somewhere around 200-ish. So this has been 300 this week. I don't know.
Just on this topic?
Spiked. No, just on the topics. Okay. The specific topics. So some of these I think may close out some of these topics. I don't know. Next email, Russell from Perth writes in. Perth is in Australia, I think. I'm a California native living in Perth, Western Australia. While I've listened to your podcast from the very start, I've never been compelled to write in until now. Your recent discussion of thongs, or flip-flops as they are properly known, has totally missed the point. I moved here in November of 2013, and by my estimate, somewhere between 1% and 5% of Australians are going around barefoot at any time. Footwear etiquette in the workplace is very similar to the United States, unless you are a customer at a retail establishment. I have been baffled by the sight of people young and old going barefoot in grocery stores, shopping malls, and takeaway restaurants. I think he means like takeout.
Like, See, that he blew his cover.
Yeah, you're not a California native.
Heads up.
Takeaway restaurants.
I am going to take away this to my motor carriage.
Here's my CV. The offenders have ranged from young kids to 30-something adults of varying apparent socioeconomic backgrounds. Where in the U.S., only the homeless and insane would be barefoot, unshod Australians from all walks of life will boldly go without shoes. Maybe some of your Australian listeners can shed some light on this mystery. So yeah, maybe the flip-flop thing is just like a smokescreen.
And we can find common ground here.
Common ground in, like, apparently all Australians are scum because they're barefoot all the time.
Also, all these people are walking around barefoot in the country most full of things trying to kill you all the time.
Yeah, I don't know.
Right, just carpets of spiders.
Yeah, scorpions and, like...
kangaroos.
Yep.
Koalas. I don't know. None of this is making me want to try to make the trip to PAX Australia. But at the same time, all of this is kind of making me want to make the trip to PAX Australia.
I think you're honor bound now.
Yeah, I think so. Like, to finish the fight.
Yeah.
Right? All right. George in Japan writes in and says, I'm currently living and working in Japan, trying to help teach junior high school students some English. I thought you might be interested to know the gaming habits of 12 to 15-year-old Japanese students. I usually have to pay good money to know what 12 to 15-year-old Japanese people are up to. So this is great. The main way students in Japan can express themselves is through pencil cases and charms that hang off their pencil case. By far the single most popular video game franchise these kids are repping is Monster Hunter, In fact, it's rare to see a piece of merch for any other video game.